Story time. This is a show where I'm going to be talking about different lessons I've learned from traveling, and trust me, guys, this one is a good one. It is a lot with self trust and also realizing that everything is going to be okay when you're out traveling. So, picture this, we're back in 2016, and I'm traveling for the first time in Cambodia. And Cambodia is known for having some incredibly amazing island experiences. And at the time, I was traveling to an island called Koh Rong Samloem. So Koh Rong Samloem is only a short boat ride by speedboats from the mainland. And picture this, I had just booked a hostel, which was a brand new place on a beach that basically no one at the island had heard about. And nobody even knew that this was a hostel. So while this was happening, to be honest, I was freaking out a little bit because this was my first experience where I was out by myself and I had no one else to rely on. It was myself. I didn't even have proper service. I had like tiny bit of service on the island and I had no way of calling the place. So I had just booked beforehand and they told me they would pick me up from the harbor on the main part of the island, which is the place where all the resorts are. And at the time when I arrived there on the island, I arrived in a completely new place and nobody have heard of this place. And I was like, okay. Nobody has heard about the place I'm gonna be heading to. I was like, there's no way for me now. Like every single place on the beach was booked out. I walked up and down about 2 kilometers, multiple turns, asking people, is there anywhere to stay here, or is there anywhere to contact the hostel or the new place that I was staying at? And this place was called the Driftwood Hostel, and at the time, it was absolutely incredible. This place, I saw in the pictures, like everything was brand new, and it looked like the kind of experience that I really wanted to have while traveling. But the problem was nobody had heard about it and nobody knew where it was and nobody had even heard about the beach that it was on. And just because of that, I was starting to freak out a little bit. And I think this is one of the core experiences where I have learned time and time again that when you are out traveling, there's going to be quite a few challenges coming in your path. There's going to be quite a few moments where you are going to be challenged with that inner sense of security in yourself. And if you don't have that developed already, then trust me, once you start traveling, once you start putting yourself in more challenging situations where you're not going to have that security blanket, oh boy, are you going to start developing that inner confidence very quickly. And that is why on this channel, I am continuously talking about why traveling is one of the deepest spiritual and personal development practices that you can have. And once I was there, I was starting to sweat. It was already hot, but I was also starting to sweat because I was really, really nervous at the time. And people were generally dismissive, like nobody wanted to or were able to help me at the time. And that's the moment where I was just laying down in the feet on one of these like hanging beds that was hanging from a tree, like a bamboo self-made one. And I was looking up at the tree and the sky and the clouds up above me. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? And from this experience is when I realized, I'm going to go for a walk. And hopefully, by the time I come back from that walk, I will have thought something out. So I walk all the way from one side of the beach and I almost make it to the other side of the beach when I realized, oh no, I left my phone, which the phone had all my cash, all my credit card, like every single way that I was able to pay. So I just start sprinting manically down the beach and everyone was looking at me like I was absolutely crazy. And I must have looked pretty crazy at the time, but that was like the moment where every single sense of security I had with my smartphone and my credit cards and the only cash that I had was all in my phone. It was like a type of wallet phone. And the moment I came back, I saw there was one guy there that was about to steal the phone. He was about to take the phone from the bridge. And then when he saw me running, he just kind of like played it off, like acted like nothing. But I saw it. And when I was looking deep into his eyes, like I saw he didn't have good intentions. And I think about this moment all the time. It's yeah. And I think from that moment, he could just see the intensity in my eyes, and he just like, whoa, he backed off. And from that experience, exactly when I came back, when I saw my phone, I heard it was vibrating. And that was after me spending a full 2 hours in complete like panic, like all the 5 stages of grief, the whole spectrum. And that after that was the moment when the hotel was calling. I was on one bar. That was all the signal I had left. And my phone was about to die. I had no way of charging it. And with less than 20% left, the place I was staying at called me, and I was able to very briefly say where I was. And then from that point, I told him I'm at the main pier on the main beach. And that's where the connection dropped out. I was not able to call back. And I just walked over to the main pier where I said I was going to be. And from that moment on, I waited about 45 minutes. And that's when I saw one of the boats, and they asked, "Are you Ollie?" And I've never felt more relief ever than that specific moment. And I think in that moment, I've been reflecting a lot in the years. This was 2016, so it's been quite a while. But I think after that moment was one of the most amount of fear and despair that I've felt while traveling. And I think after that point, I've just learned how to breathe and to trust that no matter what happens, you'll always find a way. So whenever you're traveling, whenever you're going through something in your day-to-day life, even if you're not traveling, these are important lessons. So no matter what is going to happen, just trust that it will work out. And whenever you feel something in your gut that something is wrong, and that was the moment I started sprinting back because I realized I didn't have my phone and someone was about to take it. So whenever you are traveling, trust your gut. It is your most valuable tool. Your most valuable tool, trusting your gut and being able to say no and setting boundaries when you are traveling. And that is the story of how I was able to put myself in new and exciting situations. And from that point on, I have been able to travel to a lot of different places. And let me tell you guys, in the next few months, the places I'm going is about to go up quite a bit. So I'm going to be putting these lessons to the test myself. So hopefully I'll be able to talk the talk and walk the walk. So I will keep you guys updated on that on this channel. So thank you guys so much for listening. It's been a really amazing journey. And I think from my personal perspective, traveling and personal development are absolutely interlinked. And from that point on, I want to be sharing that knowledge with you guys as I'm going through life and different lessons and experiences. So make sure you subscribe, as I will be posting a ton of videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Hey, all the stories flow. Here we go. Hey, hit subscribe, come alive, feel the vibe. Hey, every upload's like a treasure found.